All right, I'm coming. Oh, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, Just Jordane, number 98. Just Jordane or Justin Jordane? I don't know what my name is today. I had no idea that I changed my name to Justin. Justin Jordane, coming on down from Ripito, Alabama. Let's see here. What else we got? Nice. All right, now where the hell did my charger go for my IG hookup? I don't want my phone dying up on me. We're almost there, guys. How's everybody doing? Happy Wednesday. I was about to say Thursday, but Thursday's tomorrow. Happy Wednesday, guys. How's everybody doing on their beautiful Wednesday? I hope you all are doing wonderfully, like I am. Okay. I'll be back again. If anybody comes and they're wondering where the hell I am, tell them I'll be back. All right, okay. I'm back. I'm back now. Relax. What's up, Allison? How you doing over there? Happy Wednesday. Nice surprise. You're early today. Today we have an early one. I'm trying to make sure that I always get these shows in, but you know, sometimes it's hard to predict how your day's going to go, and it seemed like since work was much slower today, and I'm going to have to get back out there and try to see if I can catch some of these peeps. I didn't have much going on in the mid-afternoon, and then I would be busier in the later afternoon, and then I would have to rush the show, and I'd rather have a good quality show, especially for this one, because this one right here, I'm still upset about the Chyna documentary. And I watched it last night, and I didn't have a good time resting last night just because I was thinking about how bad and how horribly she was manipulated and dictated to. And it's very easy to point fingers at like the big company, the big WWE thing and stuff like that. But there's a lot of personal things that like she didn't take care of that she should have, and we're going to get into it. We're going to go a lot deeper into it because this documentary, I mean, it was par for the course whenever it comes to especially a lot of the more recent wrestling documentaries, barring the A&E versions. The A&E versions seem to be a little bit more, up and happy. But this Chyna documentary, guys, it was, man, I don't know. Growing up, I've seen so many people like that. Hey, Laura, thank you for liking the page. Laura liked the page. Hey, and if you guys can go on and like the page, thank you. I always get a reminder. Thank you guys for always reminding me. If you guys can go on and click like on the page. I just hate saying the same shit over and over. Oh, I see them hearts going off on Instagram too. Thank you guys. Awesome. Oh shit, Nasty Leroy's over here hanging out. How's it going, bud? Did you see the Chyna documentary? Have you seen that one yet? Were any of you guys able to see the Chyna documentary? If you are, please contribute to the conversation because I like hearing everybody's opinions on the matter, and it's just hard. Laura said, I wish I could see it. I don't have cable. Yeah, that sucks because it's definitely worth it. And I think that eventually you're probably going to be able to find it online. If you probably can't find it online right now, I'm sure that there's probably a version of it. It's just like the Dark Side of the Rings. Every time those come out, you wait a couple of days and there's a couple of versions on YouTube. Sometimes it's it's like somebody just reposting it or whatever. And then sometimes it's actually Vice that's posting the videos. Shy is, what a pleasant surprise. Lovely to see you in the middle of the day. Awesome. It's good to see you, Shy. Shaq, keep it up. I jump into those rooms whenever I can, whenever I got a little bit of time. That's good. When you get a chance, you can check it out. Definitely, I'll check it out. Shy said, I will tell them you didn't go to IHTP. Thank you, Shy. I didn't go to IHTP this time. I had to go and get my little charger. I've been doing a lot of running around trying to make sure that I'm getting everything in order and getting everything as situated as possible for the evening work that I have coming up. So, should be good, though. All right. So, poor Chyna. Growing up in well, not necessarily growing up in a kind of way, in a difficult kind of way. It more so seems like her personality type isn't the type that could necessarily handle being as famous as she got. And I'm trying not to jump too far ahead on different things, because as I'm going, I start thinking about the different parts of the shows and the different pieces. But I don't want it to be too sporadic. I kind of want to go chronologically through this so that we can cover not every aspect of the documentary, but most of the important stuff that I think. And a lot of it is very cringe. I mean, she was surrounded by people who did not have her best interest at heart. And she basically got convinced over here and was killed. I feel like they murdered her. I feel like they murdered her, even though it's a drug overdose. I know, drug overdose. But you can have people who are encouraging that type of action. Very gross. Anyway, back on over here. I wish I could see it. I don't have cable. I will have Shy send me the post of her saying like, comment, share, and I will continue to repost. Yeah, but that's too much to read too, guys. That's too much to read too. I'll just say, hey, like the page or like the post. There you go. Glad Shy thinks it's a good you are here early. For me, I am missing my nap because of you. Anyway. Yeah, well, you can take a nap afterwards, though. You can definitely take the nap afterwards. Shaq, I figure out when I'm going to make you win in WWA 2K20. I'm going to do it after I finish playing Spider-Man. Then I will jump into WWE 2K20. Hell yeah, man. Keep me updated with that, because I need to see all my progress, especially getting through it. I'm sorry, I've been pushing the streams back. It's all good, man. I understand. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's just like, you see me, like, I put my streams up as much as possible and as often as possible, and we just try to put a good show out there and try to keep everybody entertained. But it's one of those things where it's hard to manage, because it's not like this is the full-time job. So you got to manage everything around everything that you're already doing, and then try to make sure that you're staying on top of this, because you want this to be a serious part of your career, which is the point of doing all this, is to have our show out here being pushed to everybody and try to meet as many like-minded people who are just like us. And, oh, man, see, I'll be back again, guys. I'll be back again. I'm just getting sick and tired of my air conditioner. My air conditioner keeps turning itself off, and I get tired of that. I hate having it turn itself off. So it just is what it is. It is what it is. All right. That's what's crazy, though. It's very, very crazy, because they had a bunch of different old school kind of wrestlers on there. They had Mick Foley, and Mick Foley always comes off. He's Christmas. He's like Santa Claus. Every time I see Mick Foley, I'm like, oh, that's Santa. That's the Santa Claus wrestler. Mick Foley seems like the nicest guy ever. And one of my favorite things about Mick Foley in one of his books. And he might have talked about it in interviews and stuff, but Mick Foley wants to be the nicest patient in the ER room. He wants people to always remember him as being the nicest, sweetest. X-Pac, they're all reminiscing on Chyna, and all these people were close to her, And the contributions to the wrestling business, yeah, it's interesting. It's fascinating, So the documentary starts off with her manager or agent or whatever you want to call him, spiritual advisor, he called himself, to get back. She's living in Japan. She's been there for 3 years. She's teaching English. And he wanted to convince her to come back to America to do the reconstruction of Chyna documentary. And he wanted to book her all over the place because she was his cash cow. She was making him so much money. That's the only thing that I was thinking. Whenever they were having the dispute between the documentarians and the manager or agent, whatever you want to call him, the Anthony guy, he wanted her to come in and then hit up all the Comic Cons and go all over the place that didn't seem like the healthiest thing for her. And they went down a list of things like, hey, are you okay? Are you good? You know, have you been on anything? And, you know, she named out 2 types of drugs that I'd never heard of before. I'm sure that they probably have a name of the drugs that I'm more familiar with, but I had no idea what drug she was on. But apparently it was really, really strong, and she couldn't, like, it's not healthy to be having that that often, and it's just not good. What's up, Danny? Yeah, Danny, we got an early one today. I got to work a little bit later, so I wanted to make sure that I still got the stream in. And we're talking about that new Chyna documentary that Vice just released. Have you seen that yet, Danny? I don't have anybody in the stream yet that's actually seen the Chyna documentary. But, boy, you might be better off not watching it. You might be better off not watching it. I haven't seen. Did Leroy say anything? He didn't say anything back, I don't think. Or maybe it was Lost Up. Yeah. Yeah, man. So you have the conflict between the manager and the documentarians wanting to make sure. I'm at work break. Oh, hell yeah, man. I haven't seen it yet. I seen Dynamite Kid one. The Dynamite Kid one was good. Oh, no. I haven't seen the Dynamite Kid one yet. The most recent one that I saw was the Jake the Snake's father. Living in the Grizzly Smith one. Oh boy, Grizzly Smith is going to be ridiculous. Leroy's prepping for his match against Cheeseburger. Internet's going to be set ablaze whenever that match actually happens. But you have this conflict between the documentarians and the manager, the agent, whatever he wants to call him, spiritual advisor, soulmate, whatever he calls himself to her. Whatever he can say to manipulate her for another day, to get her to do whatever he wants so that he can make as much money off of her and her name as much as he can. And this is just this person literally, this type of person will suck the life out of you. They will suck the money out of you. They will suck everything good out of you and use you up until the very last drop. And that's what happened in the documentary, guys. Spoiler alert. We all know exactly how. Well, we know, what happened. We know we know that she died and how she died. But everything leading up to exactly how she died is just insane. But it's not insane. It just makes you realize how dirty and disgusting people can be. And people are dirty and disgusting. But it's tough because you don't ever want to see somebody have to go through that. And then knowing how it all ended and all the sadness that was with it, it was just ridiculous. Lifting weights, she really liked what it was doing to her body. It was making her feel good. So she had all the gym stuff. She's doing all the gym stuff, getting bigger. She's getting more attention from different areas. And then she saw wrestling on television and was like, oh, I want to do that. And then she's in there training with Killer Kowalski. And obviously in the wrestling business, anybody you get a woman like that, they're going to have to try to do something with her. You got to do something with her. And so they go through that. They build her up. Goes to Killer Kowalski school. Wrestling as Joni Lee. And then it goes on to her debuting as Triple H's bodyguard, which was pretty badass because she grabbed Sherry Martel and just started ragdolling her. And I remember seeing that. Chyna versus Jeff Jarrett. No Mercy 1999 was my favorite as a kid. I was 5. LMA. That's awesome. That was the street fight, right? Was that the street fight? That was like Jeff Jarrett's last match that he had in the WWE at least. And it was. I think that was it. No Mercy 99 is my favorite pay-per-view. That's a good pay-per-view though. That's a really good pay-per-view. But you see, as she's going, as she's moving up the ladder, she's doing really good. She's getting better. She's getting a bunch of wins against a bunch of dudes, and it's all working out pretty well. And then when or bodyguard, and then as they're going, it's very hard to watch. It's very hard to explain it in that way because what's the words that I'm looking for here? Triple H, and then Triple H got with Stephanie McMahon, and then there were rumors that they were running around on Chyna while Chyna and Triple H were still together, but Triple H was moving up in the company, and he was, going over. He was seeing the McMahons all the time, and then he was like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna date the boss's daughter," And that's a very, very easy trope that people go on to. You definitely you leave the girl for the CEO's daughter. Doesn't come off very well. But one of the things that kind of rubbed off on me about Chyna was, but they didn't really go over it. They didn't really go over it as much in the documentary. Was like her substance abuse problems that she had throughout her life, and a bit of chaos that was going on the whole time as it was, like the way that her personality type seemed. But that's neither here nor there. I'm just speculating because I'm just seeing everything on TV. Everything that was caught on footage. I don't really know the person, but I would think that she probably had these aren't new problems. These aren't new challenges that she's trying to figure out how to get over. That's the biggest thing about it. That's one of the most challenging things, is figuring out that sometimes it is like things are just the way that they are, and either you can accept it or you can move on. And Stephanie, thanks, Danny. Chyna had a hard time getting over the fact that she lost her dude, she lost her job, she kind of got screwed over in the situation, but it didn't seem like she lost her job and like she was just thrown away to the side like that. She demanded more money that they couldn't pay her as a company. They couldn't pay her, and it was like, you want Stone Cold money, but you're not really setting the world on fire like Stone Cold did at that point whenever Stone Cold was on fire. And Chyna was always really big, but she wasn't over like that. She wasn't getting giant crowd reactions. She was definitely getting some good reactions though. And I remember everybody loved her. Especially there was a point whenever she did whenever she was coming out with the little fire, like the little fire cannon, whatever the thing is, the fireworks cannon or whatever. And I thought that was she wasn't going to get any better than that. Like that was the best as her as a character. But then you realize that she wasn't happy about it. She wanted more money. She wanted Stone Cold money. She didn't want to wrestle women. She wanted to wrestle the men. And a lot of the women at that time didn't have the experience to be able to have as good of matches as she would with the men. And a lot of the men were probably more capable of having a better match with her. So, she probably did feel better about having matches with men. So, do you remember when she won the Intercontinental Champion match? Danny, was that the Jeff Jarrett match when she won the Intercontinental Championship? But that one was interesting. But all the wrestling stuff, we pretty much knew all the wrestling stuff, which was cool. We know like all of the weird porno stuff that she did, or adult themed videos or whatever it was. No, it was from Chris Jericho. Oh, I haven't seen that in a long time though. But I'm refreshing my memory with all this stuff, Shaq. It's been a while, especially since I've watched anything from that era. So catching up, I'm just playing the catch up game with all that, because that's just it's just been a while since I've watched anything like that. It's just been a while. So she leaves wrestling. While she's doing wrestling, she did the Playboy thing. And then that kind of led in, and I'm assuming maybe she tried. She just didn't feel like she had any work. And I'm sure that she had bills. So the porn thing was like a natural progression from doing wrestling and doing like you're exploiting your body already so much. Whatever, I'll be naked in front of a camera. It's no big deal. I already have sex. Just turn the camera on. I can do it. I could see how people could rationalize it, but at a certain point, it doesn't seem like that's the healthiest route, especially if you have issues from your past that you're trying to control, and you're probably going to be surrounded by a lot of people who have the same types of issues, and it's not going to work out right in the long run, or it's not going to help you in the long run. With all that being said, at a certain point, it's not that big of a deal. I remember, because I always wondered why she wasn't in the Hall of Fame, and I did understand the porno thing, and this hasn't aged well at all, but there's a video of Triple H saying, like, being interviewed, I think it was about Stone Cold, and Stone Cold was like, hey man, you know, what do you think about Chyna? Do you think she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame? And Triple H was like, yes, with her career, yes. But if my children Google Chyna, they're going to see all this stuff. Dude, that did not age at all. Google half the fucking wrestlers on the roster, homie. You fucking hired them. Most of them are fucking porn stars. Most of them. What is happening here? Like, what are we, high class? Are we that high class now? 10 years ago, it was basically porn in the ring, and the rated R superstar and Lita having sex on television, and that wasn't even that long ago. So it seems like it is kind of bullshitty. Sure, that's a good excuse, and most people listening to that would be like, "Oh, I understand. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but Google the other wrestlers. Google the other wrestlers. A lot worse than pornos. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of Hall of Famers that have done a lot worse than pornos. A lot worse. So that one, morally, I never really thought that was a reason not to let her in there. And I understand that kids, need to be sheltered to a certain point. And it's not like it's a good thing. You could say, like, well, she had a hard time in her life, and she did some things that she later regretted, because she openly talked about later regretting it. And you shouldn't hold that against somebody for so long, for all their lives. Like, you're going to hold that against them for all their lives? That's not fair. That's not fair at all. I don't want to live in a world where there's no forgiveness, especially whenever people are desperate and they're being manipulated by people all around them. And that's what we see from the second half and on from the documentary, because then we see the manager continuously trying to push her into these different positions to where she can get some type of attention to get people talking. Just get people talking. Just get people interested in what Chyna is up to now. Now Chyna's back. And then the documentarian's trying to create a relationship with her, and he just said, oh, I just want to do drugs. I just want to do drugs with Chyna. I think that we could connect then. And there are a lot of drug addicts that think that they don't think, but that's how they connect with people, is they do drugs with them, and then they're like, oh yeah, it's a cool person when they're drunk or messed up or high or whatever drug you're taking, whatever the effects of that drug is. Whenever we're fucked up by this drug, man, the fucking charts, and you feel amazing. You're probably gonna feel like shit tomorrow, but of course you're on drugs. Of course you feel good. Of course you feel good. Have a couple beers, you probably feel good too. But then if you have more than a couple beers, you probably won't end up feeling so good. Funny how all that works. But I love the preaching tolerance and all this other good stuff. And then, we can't act like Chyna did not have her issues. She definitely had issues, and she definitely was a bit of a head case, like most of us wrestlers are. But I hate seeing somebody treated like that. Her body language throughout that whole documentary, and guys, this documentary just uses footage from the original documentary that they were trying to record, that the drug addicts were trying to record. I mean, God, it was just so sad, man. I don't know which one was worse, Jake the Snake's father's one or this one. It's just so tough. I mean, there were some parts whenever you could see her personality shine through, and she was just being silly, and she's just a very likable person. You definitely gravitate to her, and you could see why she became such a big deal that she was. But it's tough. It's tough. That's a tough position, and there's all these questions. There's all these, and everybody always has their comments, and everybody knows the right way to go, and they're going to give their opinion to you. And how are you supposed to filter all that information through your brain and your head, and trying to figure out, like, what is the right move for me to do now? Because the right move wasn't for her to demand not to wrestle women, and because like you spent all this time building up Chyna, and now you have a women's division coming up. You want to build up your women, so of course you want Chyna, who's whooping dudes' asses, helping bring along the women. So that makes sense why you would want that from a business standpoint, but it's just unfortunate that Chyna didn't see that, and she wasn't able to bring herself to that point. Shy said, I feel so sad, but I would say she did a brave thing standing by herself. It's not important to make everyone happy, just a few close matters. Yes, that's a good point. It is, and she's not trying to. I don't know. There's no telling what she was doing. I mean, this shit got so cringe, man. And you can see, like, in her body language, she didn't want to be there, but her and the manager guy who's convincing her to go all over the place with him, he convinces her to go to the WWE headquarters and try to go in there and talk to somebody. And, of course, they went in and went right back out. It was like, oh, we can't get in. And it's like, you knew you weren't going to get in. You knew you weren't going to talk to anybody, especially this random-ass guy who's trying. Nah, man. That was such a sad point to see. She couldn't even get into the building, which I'm sure if she was by herself, maybe she would have had better luck. But since she had this fucking creepy guy demanding, probably not. It's probably just not. It just didn't work. It's just bad. It was just really bad. I just felt so bad for her, man. I felt so bad for her. And it gets worse, guys. It gets so much worse. I mean, she was an English teacher in Japan, which is badass. She converted into Mormonism, and, whatever your spirituality is, if it helps you, it helps you. That's most important. I know people like to make fun of Mormons. Easy target, but whatever, man. If it's good, if it's like a lot of the stuff that I've seen from Mormonism, other than, I mean, there's some bad stories too, but the vast majority of them are Mormons are sweetie pies. They don't drink alcohol. They don't drink caffeine. They do everything the right way, the way the Lord intended. Good on them. Yeah, the Grizzly Smith one was hard to watch, but the Chyna doc was very hard to watch. And it's the manipulation, man. Like and there's a lot of time that spread out between the Jake the Snake's dad, the Grizzly Smith one, and the Chyna. Chyna was just alive in 2015, and then she passed away. One of the main things that really bothered me about this was that they convinced her to go over there. The manager guy was on the phone with not Dr. Phil, but the other one. Who's that other television doctor who takes advantage of people in vulnerable positions, but then tries to be a positive source of information, but they're all exploiting people who have... Dr. Drew. Yeah, Dr. Drew. I feel... she could have gone far in life, but for the leeches that wanted to attach to her. Yeah, that she could have. Yeah, and there was a poignant spot in the documentary where she was having a conversation with Vince Russo. Bro, hey, bro, Chyna, bro. She was having a conversation with Vince Russo, and she was like, "I need to be a success story. I need to. It is my like. I have to be a success story." And Vince Russo was like, You are a success story. You're fucking Chyna. You're fucking Chyna. Of course it's this is a success story. This is a huge success. You're a huge success. Sure, you hit some bumps in the road right now, but you're fucking Chyna. She had a hard time, man. She had a hard time, and then she got with X-Pac. And that didn't help at all because X-Pac's a drug addict. So when you get two drug addicts together, they're going to fight a lot, but they're going to stay together because those drugs are one of the best super glue for personality types who shouldn't be around each other. The best way for them to super glue each other together is drugs and alcohol. Any of those types of stimulants or any of those types of things, y'all stick together, but it's going to be chaos, and it is chaos. And that was their relationship. That was they had a lot of chaos, and that was I think that was like the first sex video that she did, and then that was what led her into making her more comfortable to do the porn. I forgot about that. Yeah, but going back to this manager, man, this manager convinced her to leave Japan, come over here. They were arguing with the documentarians. Even during one of the interviews that they were doing, Chyna's literally saying, please, I need some help. I'm in a bad position. This is horrible. Please, God, somebody help me. Somebody help me. And then the cameraman is just asking questions. Like, well, how does that... Oh, hey. It's fucking horrendous. Knowing that she died a couple of weeks later, and she's begging for help, and this fucking heroin head watching the camera, through the camera, is just asking her questions. Monotonally, does not give a shit. Does not give a shit. So whenever you cut to her having a conversation with Dr. Drew on, hey, thank you, Erwin, for the like. Awesome. When you cut to Dr. Drew having a conversation with her, and he's asking her all of these, like, okay, so what are you on right now? And she goes over the pills that she's on, and then Dr. Drew is like, dude, you got to get off that because this is going to kill you. And then her manager is like, well, this is kind of what's keeping her going right now. So don't you think that it's something that needs to kind of stay? And then, and Dr. Drew was like, no, dude, you got to get off that shit. You like start lowering it now because this is not going to end well. All of this is so suspicious. It's so suspicious because then as you go, you realize that they go to do a wellness check on her. A couple days later, they haven't heard from her. So, go figure. Think she's dead. Oh, what do? You get a fucking camera crew to follow you to do a wellness check on a dead body. Like, that's crazy, dude. This is fucking Chyna. And you got these fucking drug addicts all surrounding her, taking advantage, getting money off of her, doing everything that they can to suckle from the teats of what that woman built and what she did. And these are just some random assholes who are drug addicts, and they plainly, they talk about it in the movie or in the documentary. Oh, well, I was on heroin, so if I wasn't on heroin, I would have looked for help. Yeah, all excuses, all bullshit excuses. They're shit human beings. And then there was another guy. There was the guy with the camera, and then there was another guy who was like, whoa, somebody help her. John, why don't you get her some help? Jimmy, why don't you get her some help? Motherfucker, why don't you help her? Why don't you help her? What do you mean? It's nobody else's responsibility. You got to take care of each other. What the fuck, man? This girl's literally begging for help. I mean, this is a heartbreaking documentary, guys. Heartbreaking. But she's begging for help. And this guy's like, oh, I can't help. Can you help? Can you help? Can you help? What do I do? Well, I don't know what to do. Yeah, no responsibility, right? Nothing on all of you. Oh, well, I was on heroin. Yeah, so you're not responsible. Oh, so you put the blame on somebody else, so you're not responsible. Fucked up. These people are disgusting human beings. I hate the fact that they exist. I hate the fact that they exist. I wish that they did not exist. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. It's just, just seeing everything that she's been through, and she's been through a lot, obviously. And she did have a lot of problems, with her past relationships, with the wrestling, with the WWE. But even then, in 2015, let's not fucking worry about the WWE shit. Look, that was a big part of your life, but you're Chyna. Like, she could have been fine. But she was surrounded by people who manipulated her, and she unfortunately was the type of person who was, I don't know if she was easily manipulated, but from what it looks like she was easily manipulated. Because there was a point whenever she got angry at the manager, telling him, like, oh no, you got to go, you're fired, I don't want to deal with you anymore, I'm done with it, I'm done with you. He's like, well, you can't fire me, I'm your soulmate. This guy's taking advantage of her all the way up into her death. This guy telling her that he's her soulmate. He got a camera crew to follow them whenever they're going to check out the dead body. Surely they had an idea that she was probably dead. And then one of the most disgusting parts about this, and I know this is a downer episode, guys, but sometimes we got to talk about that. You know how Papa Jordane gets a little dark sometimes. We get dark over here sometimes. The worst part to me was after she's dead, obviously the manager is the one that's there. She didn't have a relationship with her mom. She left her mom whenever she was like 12 or 13. What's up, Nasty Leroy? How are you, brother? She left her mom whenever she was like 12 or 13, moved in with her dad because her dad gave her more freedom. There's no telling exactly, but her dad was an alcoholic and he beat her mom, and they split up very badly. So she didn't have like a good comeuppance. But it's got to be some type of childhood trauma with all that stuff. I mean, we're gonna play armchair psychologist and try to use some of that Freudian techniques to figure out what's going on in that brain. What's going on in that brain? Something happened when you was a kid. Usually it is something happened when you were a kid and you had a hard time understanding what exactly was happening, because at a certain point when you're that young, anything seemingly can traumatize you because you don't have any experience on how to handle it. So it's interesting. All that stuff's interesting. But this poor girl was cremated. And she was cremated. The mom requested for her to put half of the ashes in the water, and then to bring her the other half. This guy poured out half, kept a quarter for himself, and then gave the mom a quarter. He took the remains of her body, got a bedazzled urn, got a nice little fancy cute urn, and then had fans come up and take pictures with it in a memorial service. And I feel like he was charging people. They didn't claim whether he was charging people or not, but this girl, beyond death, was still being used because of her name and who she was, because of everything that she built and the WWE built. Let's not front on that. But everything, like, they are this disgusting, where they were mooching on her so much that they killed her. I feel like they killed her. I feel like watching that documentary is a death documentary, because this is how she died. It could have been different, especially whenever she was asking for help, and they could have gotten her help, but they didn't. They didn't get her help. They just wanted the footage. They just wanted the content. They're whores for content. There's a lot of disgusting people out there. See, I love people, but I also hate them. This documentary and the Grizzly Smith documentary is a real good reminder of why I hate people. Because they'll do that. They'll take advantage. For what? For money? Fuck that. We're all just people, man. We're all just people. We need to take care of each other. I know I talk about this all the time, but goddamn, I don't want to be around a motherfucker who's going to sell me out just because they want to make a couple dollars. Fuck you. Get out of my, get the fuck out of my, you ain't in my group. You ain't one of my people. Fuck that. Money? Money? This girl died now. And she was a drug addict, and you didn't even get her help. And she did have access to help, but she refused help. So you got to remember that too. There's a nickel and a dime. There's that duality. There's a side to every story. And I know that she obviously had a lot of issues. She had a lot of problems. That was why she, the WWE fired her and couldn't really keep her going, and we can always nitpick a bunch of different things. Like, oh, there's a lot of wrestlers that are lost worse than her. Every case is unique. Every case is different. But it's so crazy, man. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. There's a lot of dirty people out there, and we got to be vigilant and stay on top of it, and don't let people take advantage of you. Don't let people take advantage of you. Be vigilant. Keep your eyes open and pay attention. Pay attention. People will tell you. You can figure it out. People will let you know their intentions if you pay attention. They'll only lie for a little while. They can't lie in them eyes forever. You can't lie in them eyes forever. Eventually, the truth will come through. And if you pay attention, and you notice it, you pick up on those patterns, you pick up on that, get out of there. Because they ain't there for you. They're there for them. And that's A lot of these people know that. A lot of people know that sometimes people are vulnerable. Sometimes you want to have somebody around, but not at the expense of your health. Not at the expense, and it gets so much worse whenever you're on drugs, because then that makes you already easily manipulated, way more likely to be manipulated, because come on, it's drugs. That's, you know, they put fucking rats in a cage and put cocaine in a little feeder, and it'll shock them. In order for them to get a hit of cocaine, they'll get shocked. They'll shock themselves to death. Because the feelings from that cocaine makes them feel so good that they will override their pain sensors and die, because the drugs have taken course. The drugs have taken over. And that happens to a lot of people. You see that happen to a lot of people. They have the drug brain. They are so slow in slurring their words and not capable of communicating in a normal way that you're used to them, especially it's a lot easier to tell if somebody's on drugs if you already know them. Then you can tell the small little intricacies. Like if you can tell in general most people, but you got to be careful. You got to be careful. Thank you, Rick. Exactly. Rick nailed it. Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anybody until you know you can. I mean, your family, even some of your family you can't trust. But you do have to have a group of people that you know you can trust no matter what. That's healthy. But you don't want to open up yourself to too many people, because the more people that you open yourself up to, the more likely you're going to hit somebody who's just trying to fuck you over. And whether they are doing it intentionally or not, because either they're trying to mess you up because you falling will make them so happy, or they're just trying to use you as a stepping stone. And I don't even think the documentarians were using her as a stepping stone. I think that they were just trying to party, and they just wanted to party with Chyna. And then maybe the manager, maybe the guy who did the whole memorial service with the bedazzled Chyna, urn, which is just so uncomfortable, man. Here, let me get that picture of the Chyna urn, because the Chyna urn, man, that just had me all, I was not happy about that, guys. I was not happy about that. And I had no idea that happened to her. I mean, it happened to her leftovers, or her leftovers. Her remains. You know what I'm saying? Her remains. Yeah, here's the, all right, let me see if I can get it on here. I don't. Maybe I have it over here. Back again. Oh, Mama Laura, you changed your name. I love it. I'm trying to find this Chyna urn. I don't think that I have it. Oh, there it is. There we go. Cool. Oh, did it not go on there? Okay, where are you? Hello, where are you? I don't... It's supposed to be on here now, but I don't see it. WWE Kid Reaction, please just put me as a moderator, please. What are you talking about? Why do you even want to be a moderator? Explain to me why you want to be a moderator. I cannot get this picture to work. Oh, well. Take it off. Take it off. I don't think I'm going to get that one to come up, guys. Sorry. So sorry. Oh, there it goes. Oh, where'd he go? Where'd he go? It was just there. It was just there. I just had him. I swear it. I just had him. Oh, come on. It was just there. It was there, but now it disappeared. Oh, well. Well, you just Google it. Y'all know how to Google it. All right, hold on one sec, guys. I'm gonna IHTP and I will BRB, and then we'll finish up the show. We'll just put our last little synopsis on it, and we'll be good. So I will BRB. So give me one sec, guys. Be back. Yeah, but the main thing that I got from that from the China documentary is don't trust anybody. Take care of yourself. It is very important for you to make sure that you are being malicious with the way that you're picking out the people that you want to be surrounded by in your life, because a lot of these people are just trying to take advantage of you. I've been around a lot, and especially in wrestling, you get so many people who want to take advantage of you in many, many different ways. And at a certain point, you have to stick up for yourself and say, no, the fuck out of here. You don't belong. Not in my circle. You're a piece of shit. You go hang out with other pieces of shit because you don't belong here. And you get them out. That's the main thing. That's the only thing you can't be nice to these people because they're not nice. They're not nice. They will ride you until the grave and literally put you in the grave. That's what happened. Pagey wages. One guy was going to pay me to come run the ropes in my trunks. No crowd. Is that weird? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's if you want to do that, but like that's weird. That's a weird one. People do that all the time. People have wanted me to beat them up in their basement for money. And then all these like weird customs that wrestlers record. Like I didn't get into it. I didn't get into wrestling for any of that stuff. I get into wrestling for wrestling. I'm gonna wrestle. Other than that, I'm not interested in doing any of the bullshit. I'm not interested in it. Shaq, you don't need to be a moderator. Kid reaction. Yeah, Shaq Daddy. Why? What's up with the moderator? We don't even have that many chats, brother. If we had more chat, didn't make that drive. Yeah, I mean that's all depends on if you're into it or not, you know. And that's like another thing, like when people sell their underwear, sell their socks, and sell their trunks and all that other good stuff. And I get people all the time that ask me to sell them some trunks or whatever, and my price is too high. My price is too high. I ain't letting them go that easy. You ain't gonna just fucking pay me $20. You're gonna have to pay $500 for this Jordane shit. I haven't sold anything yet, but hey, it's a sucker born every day. So hopefully tomorrow I'll sell my underwear for $500. I'll sell it for $500 now. There ain't no shame in my game for that shit. I'll do that. Hell yeah. Pagey wages. We're here to do a job, not get into fan fetishes. Yeah, exactly. Not to get into fan fetishes or promoter fetishes, because promoters try to do that with wrestlers. We're not here for any of the weirdness. None of us are. And then it's sad because Chyna went in that direction where she went completely deep. She went head over heels completely in, all the way. And she was being taken advantage of the whole time. The whole time. Shy, I have met so many people like that. But the only thing I do is ignore them. Or, if needed, talk back and tell them to stay away from my life. Yes, exactly. If you need to tell them to stay away, tell them to stay away. But you can do a good job of avoiding these type of people too. And that's what I think is best anyway, because we don't want to cause a confrontation everywhere we go. If you realize that somebody is probably the type of person you shouldn't be around because either A, they do not have the same values as you do, or B, they have the same weaknesses that you do. And if you're around them, you're more likely to go down a bad path. So you got to be vigilant about all this stuff, because in the long run we want to be as supportive and positive as possible, but it's tough because everybody's different and everybody takes things differently. But yeah, if the price is right, shit, I mean, hell, I'll sell some trunks to buy a new pair. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it depends on your hierarchy of values and what's important to you. Shai said, I do speak up if needed, but if I feel it's not worth to explain, I will make sure I am not including them in our life. It's a tough but doable. It's important for our mental sanity. Yes, Shai, 100%. It's super important for your mental sanity, because the hard part is making sure that you're pushing people out. You have to push them away. You have to get them out of the way. You cannot be messing with people like that, because they're only going to drag you down, and you do not want to be dragged down. Life is trying to drag us down everywhere. We have life trying to drag us down everywhere as it is all the time. So what we need to do is pick each other up. No shit, right? It would sound like it, but not whenever other people are just trying to pick themselves up. And they will use you and take advantage of you in order to pick themselves up. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. And you can see a lot on Chyna's face throughout the parts of the documentary that were her recent life. It was the most recent. They filmed the documentary, but she died while they were filming it. But it wasn't like a real documentary. It was a drug-addled vacation that ended in her death. Because she was living in Japan. So maybe she moved back to America. Maybe she moved back. I don't know, but I don't know. Seems like that was probably not the best. Probably not the best decision to make. I don't think that it ended up working out too well for old Chyna. Oh, Bernie. Here's another wrestling for you, Pagey. Bernie said, just here for the handshake and hot dog, and the frozen screen of Jordane on Facebook that makes King Cat's regalness start to become hypnotic. Oh no, are we frozen on Facebook? Shit. We're good on YouTube, and I'm on Facebook. It looks like I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I don't know. I don't see any signs. None of the myself off so much because I've been trying to tell myself to remember the keyframe rate for I don't even know how long now. But Shai, may her soul rest in peace. Yes. Hopefully if there is an afterlife or any of those types of things, hopefully she reached it. Hopefully she reached it. Who knows what the requisites are to getting into some place like that, but hopefully she reached it, because Lord knows we've all done things that could put us in the position to be in hell. But hopefully overall we do really well. Pagey said, laugh out loud, handshake and a hot dog. Let's just get half the pay before I make that drive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. I love that because I see like half and half. I see some shit promoters trying to be like, well, I can, but the wrestlers are like, yeah, I'm not going to get there and then you not pay me, dumbass. I'm not going to fall for that again. And if you're a wrestler, you've probably fell for that. Like, little did you know, right? Like, you don't fall for it. It's just people are trying to take advantage because they're putting together a show that they can't afford and they shouldn't be running, and they can't even afford to pay you. That's horrible. Then how did you do all this stuff? How'd you get the ring in here if you can't even pay me fucking $50? $50 it costs $2,300 just to rent the building. How is the wrestlers' pay that bad? We make most of our money selling merch, guys, by the way. That's how wrestlers make most of their money, because we ain't dependent on the house, because you guys have seen the indies, right? Not the biggest houses. Sometimes we get some good ones, but really, we want y'all motivated to buy our stuff. That's where you make most of your money, and that's in anything. That's in like regular sports. That's in anything. You want to sell that merch. If you can sell that merch, oh boy, you are good. You are good. Head on back to the chats. Shy, y'all are talking. Yeah. Bernie said Facebook has been BS lately with all the wonkiness on the live chats. Replies don't show on the chat stream, among other things. Very inconsistent. Must be ramping up their narrative. Yeah, I think so too, Bernie, because I've been seeing the same thing all over, especially with Facebook. Facebook's been the worst with it. YouTube's usually pretty solid, but they haven't been solid here recently. Been taking advantage of FAAR too long for my niceness in. Oh, been taken advantage of far too long for my niceness in this business. Always have respected everyone and been fucked far too much. That reminds me of a joke. Thanks, Bernie. That reminds me of a joke. Y'all tell me if y'all like this one or not. Success. Here's a good one. Success is like being pregnant. Everyone tells you congratulations, but nobody knows how many times you've been fucked. That's a good one. That's a good one, man. That when I heard that, I died. Pagey Wagey said, I was at a show Jeff Jarrett got booked on. He wasn't paid in full, and the promoter had his son go break the news to Jarrett. He couldn't pay him in full, and Jarrett was drunk and, of course, smacked him. Smacked the promoter across the face. Good. Oh, smacked the promoter's son across the face. Good. Fuck him. Mama Laura, you better get paid, and if you bring merch, I will sell it locally, and I know I can sell the new item. Thank you, Mama Laura. Mama Laura's got that hookup. 100%. I remember I was getting paid $100 for a promoter, and he was like, "How much was it? How much was it?" It was $100, and he was like, "What? $100?" I don't know what that is. What is $100? A 100. You fucking boomer. You fuck. How do you not know 100? How do you not know 100? It's 100, bitch. Come on. Shy, I always feel that your show has such a strong connection with your fans and that we all feel family. I hope so. Shy. Ron, I'm never accepting congratulations when I get pregnant. Yeah, it's a gaming and salt water. I swear I know that one. I swear I know that one. But I don't know, Bernie. I don't know. You got to hit me with that one, Bernie. Pagey Wages, yep. You better pay because we are in a business also, and you don't dick people out of money for doing the job. Yeah, for working. You're an independent contractor. They can't, if you don't show up to work, they don't have a show. The wrestlers are such an important part, especially if you're a wrestler who has his shit together and and looks like something, comes off as something. You got to be careful with that stuff because people want to take advantage. Absolutely. And they don't want to pay anybody anything. But this goes beyond wrestling, and this goes beyond any of that. I mean, a lot of our stuff is based off of wrestling, but I like to take these stories and base them as if they're in real life because that's where we are, guys. We're all in real life. Mama Laura, we got to go. Mama Laura's got to go. Phone is charging, and the phone is getting hot. Sorry, it's all good, Mama Laura. We get it. I'm here as well. Hey, Shy. Shy's over there now. Shy said, hey, Laura, how are you? Oh, y'all are chatting. Bernie said, because they would sneeze if it was loaded with pepper. With pepper. I get it. That's a good one. All right, guys. This was a fun episode. I know it's a little downer, but and I didn't even cover the Grizzly Smith one, and I'm probably not gonna do the Grizzly Smith one. Too many specific details with that one that I can't get into because that stuff's just too real. Way too real. Anyway, but the Chyna one, man, like just the fact that that she got taken advantage of, they literally rode her into the grave. It's ridiculous, Pagey Wages, if you're gonna book a dude of that stature, you better pay him first and have that money put back. You also burn bridges with the talent out there. Yeah. And here's the beautiful thing about that, Paige. We all have reputations. After a while, people know that you're a good person and they know how to work with you. They know that they can work with you. Your reputation is going to precede you. So if you keep continuously doing this, I've talked to many of friends who have given me warnings about promoters, about other wrestlers, we all talk. We all talk. So whenever you're talking, you do have to distinguish what's ill-conceived bullshit that they're just talking with their insecurities, like, oh, this person sucks, or if they're giving you some real, actual good information. So that's always tough. But I would think you would want to take care of your top, especially your top talent. How could you not pay your top talent? That's the thing. Like you can't even, your talent, like you'd have nothing then, guys. You have nothing. It's so ridiculous. So ridiculous. But anyway, you guys know how that is. Nobody likes doing a job and not getting paid. So we all can relate to that shit. That's for sure. Shy. Ooh, Shy. Here's a good comment from Shy. I'm gonna reread this one because it's a mouthful, and I don't normally do this, but we're gonna do it because it's been a while since I've done it. Thank you for watching my show. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell icon to get the notifications. You can also watch me live on Streamlabs. Paul Jordane. Do you follow my man cat? Asshole_cat. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. Oh, you've been following me on TikTok too? I don't ever promote that one. And you can shop for my goodies at Jordane.shop. Hell yeah, Shy, you are getting too damn good at that. Too damn good at that. Bernie, what would make Jordane a lot happier? Pizza on a Friday night. Pizza does make me happy. Pizza always makes me happy. Especially on Friday nights. Especially on that Friday night. But I can have pizza right now. I'm dieting. I have to diet. I have to diet down because I had a bad couple of weeks where I was not dieting properly at all. So who knows? Who knows how it all goes? All right, guys. This was a fun episode. If there's anything that I want to leave us with on this episode is let's all try to look out for each other, man. Let's try to help people, man. If you have a friend who is screaming out for help, and Chyna was literally screaming out for help, but guys, if you notice, like, just talk to people, man. Talk to your friends, talk to everybody, and just try to, you don't even have to be like, are you okay? No, just talk to them. Just talk to them. Eventually, you don't even have to ask. People will just talk to you, and then they'll just tell you. They'll just let it all out. They'll just be like, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes that's all we need. Sometimes that's all we need. And then you vent, and then you feel better, and then you're good. It's not even just, just complaining. Sometimes you need to vent. Just get it out. Okay. Whew. Don't have to do that again. I'm good. I'm good. I'm ready to go. So it's just one of those things. But anyway, guys, hope you all have a great day. Hope you all have a great Wednesday. We'll see you all back tomorrow. Should be normal time tomorrow. And we'll be rocking and rolling. I hope you all have a great, great rest of your night. I know that this was an earlier episode, but you guys know how that is. Have a great day, great week. See you all tomorrow.